The lost treasure of the Knights Templar and pirates buried gold deep underground, and the Vikings sailed there before Columbus, according to legend. However, new evidence suggests that the Romans may have also been on Oak Island. The search for these artifacts was difficult and nearly cost a man his life. One of the biggest mysteries of all is Bole 10X, a deep, dangerous, water-filled shaft that has been the focus of treasure hunters for decades. 80s Dan Blanken's ship is one of Oak Island's most devoted. Because borehole 10X is 235 feet deep and begins with a 181-foot vertical drop through a reinforced steel and concrete shaft, it was not an easy excavation, despite searchers' belief that it could lead to whatever was very deep down. Narrows into a tunnel that is barely 27 inches wide, 44 tons long, and completely obscured by murky water with no light. Two professional divers, Harvey Morash and Michael Gartz, were brought in to investigate 10X by the Lagena brothers. They were aware of the risks but were unprepared for what transpired. Michael would act as a safety diver while Harvey descended, and the crew between the swamp, the garden shaft, and the hidden road appeared to be linked. However, the most important aspect that they were still missing was that they did not fully understand the tunnels, wooden structures, and odd arrangement of the swamp. All of these elements pointed towards something that was more than just pieces of wood or random artifacts. Upon embarking on a treasure search, Rick and his team came to the realization that the Money Pit was not merely a simple quest, but rather a war against time, nature, and an unknown power. The Money Pit had always been known for its hidden treasures and daring exploits, but now they discovered something darker and more mysterious within it. As they dug deeper, they encountered objects and structures that didn't fit with the area's known history. The team often discussed the day's finds with a mix of excitement and apprehension theories as they pondered the origins of the road and the purpose of the hidden structures. As a result of the hard weather conditions and the challenging terrain, the stakes became higher, and the looming sense of messing with things that should be kept untouched added to the weight of their work. In 2006, Rick and his brother Marty purchased 50% of Oak Island Tours Inc., the company that owned the majority of the island. Rick's childhood fantasy led him to become a treasure hunter, and his passion for history and the desire to learn more about the past in order to investigate the region surrounding the wooden building and establish whether or not it is connected to an old stone road that is 500 years old. Dr. Ian Spooner is called in. Marty Lagaga and Dr. Spooner are working on another region that has piqued their curiosity, and they are fascinated by a gigantic stone that is embedded in a rock and is situated on top of a man-made stone structure. Dr. Spooner finds a stick wedged between the boulder and the dirt below it, proving that the boulder was moved on purpose to control the flow of water in the swamp. The team's determination to uncover the truths and mysteries surrounding Oak Island is evident in their exploration of the swamp and its rich history. The team of researchers led by Gary and Billy returned to the swamp to uncover more clues about the history of Oak Island. They discovered strange tree stumps and layers of old wood supporting Dr. Spooner's theory that the swamp had been changed by people long ago. As they continued digging, they discovered more clues such as a gold-coated button, a circular arrangement of stones within a pit lined with rocks, and several pieces of neatly cut wood and other wooden artifacts. These items seem to have predate any known history of Oak Island, driving them to delve deep into its past. The team agreed not to make significant changes to the area until further analysis by Dr. Spooner. They also discovered a 600-year-old lead coin and a piece of silverware with an intricately designed handle, suggesting a rich layer to Oak Island's past. A new set of questions regarding the history of the island was brought to light when an old shoe bottom with metal studs that had been made using conventional methods was found. Marty and Rick Lagena, along with their colleague Craig Tester, concentrated their efforts on the southern portion of the swamp, where they discovered a concealed wooden structure hidden beneath a stone pathway. This structure resembled the construction of a log cabin with additional wooden supports and underbrush, which suggested that construction may have been abruptly halted. The team was eager to learn more about the historical significance of the site and the lives of those who had once called it home. Gold digging is known to be a good way to make money, but as miners get better and go deeper, they find things other than gold. Some of these things are as useless as metal bits, while others are as valuable as gold itself. Let's look into how Parker finds mammoth tusks while he's looking for cash. Parker Schnabel's strange find. Parker Schnabel is used to getting his hands dirty and getting down on the ground when he's looking for money. He began working at the family mine when he was a youngster in the first season. Beginning with the second season, the young man took over the family mines and has been one of the most famous gold miners ever since. Other mine bosses have a hard time, but Schnabel seems to have the Midas touch because his team gets thousands of ounces of gold every season, which is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. After 10 episodes on Gold Rush, Parker has saved up a dime wealth, which is thought to be around $10 million. He's not going to slow down anytime soon. However, the miner has found more than just gold in the fields. He told them about some other strange things he had seen on his trips. There is a lot of stuff buried here. There's a good chance that was before, but this one made people think of the woolly mammoth. Gold Rush says that the baby mammogram is at least 30,000 years old, and the ground and ice in the area are thought to have kept the animals alive during the Ice Age. During the Gold Rush, people saw more strange things than just elephant tusks. Miners have seen things besides the god they were looking for. Parker saw something that blew his mind in particular. Meeting the welcome stranger face to face. Parker Schnabel almost passed out when he saw a copy of Welcome Stranger. It is the biggest gold nugget that has ever been found. We saw that he was half a world away from the Klondike Gold Rush Trail in Season 4, Episode 2 called Installment of Gold Rush Parker's Trail. He was looking for new experiences and chances. At the start of the show, Parker and his partner Fred Lewis were greeted by Tyler Mahoney, a fourth-generation Australian gold prospector. She opened her truck door and put a 2-foot-long golden boulder across the back seat. A story says that the welcome stranger was so big that it had to be broken in 3 on a hammer so that it could fit on a bank scale. The nugget would be worth about $4.7 million if it were sold today at the rate at which gold is sold. The original Welcome Stranger was turned into gold bars a long time ago, but 2 perfect copies are still around. 2 of them are on show in Melbourne's old Treasury building. One is owned by Deason's descendants and is kept there. The one that was taken from Mahoney's truck is thought to belong to the Deason family, and column built in 1897 still stands in Mollyagle to mark the spot where the nugget was found. Parker and no other modern gold miner found it, so the question is, who made this? The finding of gold in wooden samples extracted from deep within the island was one notable event that not only validated the presence of lucrative resources, but also inspired a new set of excavation techniques. In order to gain important insights regarding the island's geology, history, and possible treasures, the team broadened their scientific endeavors to include soil analysis, geode IAL surveys, and other experiments. These scientific endeavors have contributed to a more thorough comprehension of Oak Island's history by providing solid data to support their views. Working together and conducting thorough study have been essential to the Lee brothers' efforts to uncover Oak Island's strata. By collaborating with professionals from around the world, such as historians, archaeologists, and metallurgists, the team has gained access to a greater variety of resources and expertise, improving their capacity to successfully address the island's complex historical issues. In conclusion, despite the difficulties they encounter, Rick Marty and his team have been committed to revealing the hidden truths beneath the island's surface. Their cooperation with specialists and commitment to their mission have made them a potent reminder of the value of maintaining optimism in the face of hardship. By working with a number of experts, Rick Lagena and his group have made great strides towards solving the Oak Island puzzle. Their work has produced new instruments and methods for delving deeper into the island's historical secret tales, bringing them one step closer to solving the enduring puzzle that has fascinated treasure seekers for many years. The advanced engineering and tenacity of individuals who attempted to safeguard or unearth the island's secret stories are highlighted by the discovery of the Smith Cove flood tunnels. Researchers and treasure hunters have also taken notice of the discovery of stone inscriptions on Oak Island that include letters, numbers, and symbols. These inscriptions imply that Oak Island may have once been visited or inhabited by people who left these perplexing signs behind, but it is still unclear what their origins and purposes were because there is no supporting evidence. Early in the 20th century, a party of treasure hunters made significant progress in their excavation of Oak Island with the construction of a coffer dam near Smith's Cove. Hunters began constructing this temporary building to control water flow and access difficult-to-reach locations for excavation. The finding of wooden frame structures and platforms beneath Smith's Cove raised numerous inquiries regarding their origins and use. The finding of historical records pertaining to Oak Island, such as maps, journals, led them to a lengthy text written in a language they had forgotten. They set out to decode the text in the hopes that it would lead them to the treasure's location. But instead they discovered another paragraph with the names of William Chappell and Frederick Blair that told a story from the 15th century about a hidden vault full of gold and valuable items. Despite their best efforts, they were unable to locate the vault, making the search for the treasure more than just a pursuit of wealth. Numerous attempts have been made to reveal the secrets of Oak Island's enigmatic and expensive treasure hunt, the Money Pit. However, financial difficulties forced the Truro business to quit their work and leave the island. The hazardous and intricate circumstances that explorers had to deal with, such controlling the water in the pit, were very risky. The dual nature of the operations on Oak Island was highlighted when one worker died while attempting to control the flood. The investigation team expanded, adding new specialists like Craig Tester Dan Blankenship and his son David Dan Blankenship. They made a number of significant discoveries, such as solving the puzzle of intricate traps meant to guard the money pit at Smith's Cove. But the largest challenge still stood. The water in the pit threatened their work. In order to facilitate removal and enable the team to proceed with their task, Craig Tester suggested freezing the water. When the Lagena brothers Marty and Rick set out to explore Oak Island, they discovered Dan Blankenship to be a kindred spirit. Despite their best efforts, the entire Oak Island mystery is still unknown, with a complex network of clues that leave more questions than answers. Nevertheless, the team is optimistic that one day they will discover the mysteries that have baffled treasure seekers for ages. Consequently, what strategies did they employ to overcome their obstacles? How did they manage to function amidst severe weather conditions? As we investigate alongside Parker, he discovers gold valued at $240,000 on Tony Beat's claim. How it all began. In a brief period of time, Parker Schnabel and his team have never before mined more ground than they do now, following the completion of a deal with Tony Beats. Prior to the conclusion of the season, he must complete the task, and spring is considered the ideal time to set things up. They have resolved to exert maximum effort in the pursuit of completing it prior to the autumn, in the hopes of attaining a favorable result. Although the team harbors skepticism regarding their capacity to complete the project within the allotted timeframe, they maintain an optimistic outlook. Nona Lovelace affirms that this year's sprint is a complete sprint, as the anticipated completion date is in the spring. A member of the team, Tatiana Costa, exclaims that the quantity of snowfall they encountered was indescribable. As each Parker Schnabel is determined to improve this time around. A depth of approximately 40 feet must be dug by him and his crew in order to discover the gold. But it is expensive. Thousands of dollars must be added to the $15 million that he has already invested in the property. Further, this serves as the initial stage. This season, Parker is confronted with a critical choice that has the potential to alter the course of his mining career. Parker Schnabel aims to surpass his previous record of discovering 5,300 ounces of gold with a value of $9 million. He is now setting an even more ambitious goal, obtaining 6,000 ounces from the Indian River. Confronting the difficulties of the Klondike, he is resolute and perseverant. A great deal of determination is anticipated from him throughout this thrilling voyage. Audiences have witnessed Parker's leadership, determination, and capacity to make difficult decisions under duress throughout the course of the series. His reputation